something a lot less toxic. Even though we're talking about the Falcons too, so that is kind of toxic.
It's the most toxic relationship I have.
Actually, you know what? Let's talk about something good first. The Braves, they won the World Series. Yay.
I just want to say I called it. I called it.
Hey, quick question, actually. I got a question for you guys for 16 and easy. Because you guys are from New Orleans. Why? I don't know. But you guys are from New Orleans, right? So my question to you is, because I have seen so many people who are from like a different state, right? Or different city, and they're a fan of that football team. But when they come to Atlanta, for some reason, they become Braves fans. Or it could be one of those things where people are Braves fans. They were born and raised here, but they're Braves fans, but they're not a Falcons fan.
So,
they'll go for like a Patriots or a Green Bay, depending on which team
so
won the Super Bowl.
It's funny. It's funny you're bringing that up because 16 is a prime example of this. The Atlanta Braves are the South's baseball team.
Yep.
Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, they all support the Braves. You know, in Louisiana, the only games growing up that were on TV in regards to baseball locally was Atlanta and the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. So Louisiana probably had a little civil war because a lot of people are Braves fans, a lot of people are Astros fans. But the Braves have a really huge fan base, especially in the South, just because there's no teams locally besides, you know, Texas, you know, that you could really get behind and support. And I think Chipper Jones had a lot to do with that.
Oh, hold on. That's true. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and when I was living in Virginia, I met a couple of people from like Mississippi and all that stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm from Atlanta. They're like, oh man, big Braves fans and yada yada. To Easy's point, like it's the Southeast. This is what they call it, Braves country, right?
And
right,
and that's why the Braves do a great job of basically mapping out where all their fans are. You know, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. You know, they do a great job of, obviously, you know, their marketing team has done a good job of making sure that everybody in Braves country feels included, you know, in the fan base. Yeah. With that being said, I just want to say I called it.
Yeah, when did you call it? That's what I want to know.
I warned my brother. They traded for Joc Pederson. I said, hey, yo, bro, I just want to let you know, I think the Braves are trying to go all in. They might be trying to make a run. 16's like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, you know, it is Joc Pederson. Then they went and get Adam Duvall. And I was like, okay, they're going in. They're going in. Adam Duvall had a great year up to that point. He continued to have a great year. Was leading the league in RBIs at the time. And I was like, hey, look, bro, they just traded for Adam Duvall. They got Jorge Soler. They got Rosario. They're going in. They're going for it. I just want to let you know, because they're about to make a run. They're going to win the East because the Phillies were just underperforming. The Mets were starting to tank.
Oh, my goodness.
I just want to let you know they're about to win the NL East. And, you know, 16 was like, no, I don't know. We'll see. But then they made the playoffs. I said, bro, the bats are hot. The pitching is doing just what they need to do to win. They might fuck around and win the World Series. And here we are.
Yeah.
You know.
So we talked about the Braves in our last show because that was just before. I think that was during the NLDS. Oh, no, they had just won the NLDS against the Brewers, right? Or No, I think we did a show prior to the NLDS and we did one after the NLDS.
I think it was before the NLDS ended. So they were still in the middle of the Brewers.
Yes, because I remember you asking who would I rather face, the Giants or the Dodgers. I going into the playoffs, I thought the thing that could hurt us with the Brewers is that the pitching was really good. And then Devin Williams goes and breaks his hand on the wall a couple of days before the playoffs start. So they've lost one of their big relief pitchers. I was like, you know what, man? Like, if our bats like get hot, we can win this. And you know, that first game was a little shaky. I mean, Morton pitched his butt off, but then he gave up that one run because Snitker left it too long. But after that, I mean, talk about Joctober. Man, that dude, he cleaned up in the NLDS. And then Freeman had his like big hit in that, you know, game-winning.
And that's why the Dodgers weren't as good to try to beat the Braves this year. Look at who left. Kike Hernandez and Joc Pederson.
Yeah.
Both of them had playoff experience. They've been clutch in the playoffs. They played
Hernandez
a really
was
big
amazing.
role.
It was amazing in the playoffs for the Red Sox this
That's
year.
what I'm saying. Kike Hernandez, not only did he have a great year because he was starting every day now, but he had a good October, a good postseason because of his previous experience. And I think the Dodgers, while they did have a lot of those core guys still there, you didn't get contributions from everyone. You were relying too much on Mookie Betts. Cody Bellinger has fallen off a cliff. Whereas Atlanta had everybody back, for the most part. Freeman was there.
Did you guys read the Players Tribune article from Jock Peterson? Anyone? Did you guys read it? I'll send it to you guys. It's so good. And he basically talks about, this playoff experience you're talking about, Easy. He basically talks about, the vibe in the clubhouse was a little down because, we hadn't hit 500 till like August. It was a little down and whatever. And he just kind of brought in this vibe, just kind of like, hey, like we've been here because he's been there, he's won it. But it's like, hey, like this is it's nothing, right? You guys are good. You just got to get into that mindset. And even though he wasn't like always the best player, you could tell that Jock Peterson just had a way of like just injecting life into that crew. Same thing with Guillermo Heredia. It's just like there's like a vibe amongst them, and
you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the best player on the team to be one of the most important players on the team. Like there are some players that just bring in certain energy that's necessary. And then one thing I would say about Jock is, and I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I watched enough of it. This is the first time I've ever watched no, I'm not gonna lie. I watched last year's postseason too until the Braves were out. So like I watched the postseason because as Zeno will attest, I'm like, holy Jesus Christ, I did not realize that baseball is it's so long, and then each game is like 4. So we went on a cruise for the it was the two of the second to last games for the World Series. No, it was the last game to beat the Dodgers.
Okay.
And the second to last game against the Dodgers. And it was the one where I was talking where old boy caught. Remember, they thought they was about to get a home run, and then what's his name caught it?
Yeah, Rosario.
Yeah, that one. Like, and then I looked at my boy Jared, and I was like, that play right there is winning them the World Series, because that right there. So that wasn't the Dodgers. I'm sorry. That was the World Series. That was the World Series, the actual World Series, right?
No, I think the Rosario catch
was against
the Dodgers.
No, that was against the Astros. No, that was against the Astros. That was against the Astros. And it was game.
Oh no, there wasn't a Rosario. It was I thought Duvall had a catch like that.
Duvall had
I was gonna say it was the Hispanic guy, but I know in baseball that's not really saying shit.
No, it wasn't.
No, I can't really.
It was Adam Duvall that did it. Yeah, but
because Soler is one.
But it was an Astro. No, so an Astro player hit it, right? It was
Duvall then, because Duvall had that really clutch catch in center field
in the World Series,
and he caught and then like remember he did that whole like he just and I looked at him, I was like, he just won the World Series, because this is where the Astros were going to get some momentum to come back in the World Series and maybe extend it to 7 games. I looked at him, I was like, they're winning the World Series now, because that is the turning point play.
And kudos to the Braves GM. And I can't think of his name right now.
Alex Anthopoulos.
Okay, Alex. when you're going all in, right, you're willing to give up whatever the hell you got to do to get those players, right, so you can make this run. And if you look at those trades and what he gave up to get all the 4 outfielders, he won all those trades.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, I mean, goddamn, he traded for Eddie Rosario, who, if he wasn't hurt, he probably would have been much more expensive. He gave away Pablo Sandoval, who wasn't doing nothing for the Braves, literally just wearing a panda hat. Cleveland, I guess, didn't give a rat's ass about what they wanted to do with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he won all of those trades to get all those guys. So not only did you go all in, but you didn't sacrifice any farm system, any prospects, anything. So not only are you, you very well could be right back in here next year.
Yeah,
going for a championship.
And every one of those
that's because
people,
I think that.
I was just going to say real quick, every one of those hitters that he traded for before the deadline, had an impact. So Duval had an impact in the regular season. Obviously, he led the NL and RBIs. Jock Peterson basically, I think, was our key player in the NLDS. Rosario was our key player in the NLCS. Soler was the World Series MVP. So literally every hitter that he traded for had a massive impact.
Benefited.
So yeah, man.
And I was just gonna say is in regard, it's honestly the MVP of the Braves has been and was here, Snitker, because coaching matters. Mm-hmm. And in baseball, obviously, it's called managers, right? But coaching matters. He knew exactly what to do. Remember, he was switching the lineup, right? And
no, and that was the key with Snitker during the regular season. I have so much respect for him because in baseball, all the managers try to get fancy. They try to play matchups. Oh, you're a lefty batter, so I'm gonna put this guy in today. Like they always try to keep people fresh and everything like that. Snitker put the same 9 guys out there every day, not naming the pitcher, and said, "These are my best players. We're gonna make a run. I'm putting my best players out there,
especially the infield.
See what happens.
Especially the infield. Infield never changes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get in baseball
why you go there with the glove.
Yeah, I don't get why in baseball you try to have this basketball mentality. Oh, I got to give my guys some rest. Baseball is not I played it. It's not a super enduring sport. Like Freddie Freeman ain't sitting there gasping for air after a game. Like he's cool.
The only players that need rest in baseball are those pitchers.
Are the catchers?
If they pitched
the pitchers and the catchers
because they're 100%. They're the pitcher's going all out every single time he's pitching. Right? But I was gonna say is what you said about Snitker. Is he had the philosophy of I'm going to play with the glove that got me there. Right? You're not going to change up. You're not going to get a brand new glove and have to break it in the World Series. He's like, no, I have this glove. This mitt is reliable. I'm going to stick with it. That's what he did with his team or whatever.
Yep.
16. I know Easy's obviously a big Braves fan. What's going on?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan, but
you are now.
Well, I mean, I got invested when they got Duval. I was like, I'm in. Count me in. I'm enjoying this ride.
I love Adam.
So you were a Braves fan for 2021 then?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
How about that?
I just really respected the run and what they did to get there. And I think Travis Darnell coming back.
Or you don't have a team? You just watching baseball?
I mean, I usually follow the Dodgers, but I to be honest, I was on the opposite side of the championship series.
Did you watch them in 2020? Because I think in 2020, had Duval not gotten hurt, we would have gone to the World Series as well.
I agree, and they realized they fucked up
by
not re-signing him.
Yeah,
they messed up. They went right that wrong. And when you go from a trash team like Soler was playing in Kansas City, nobody's going to watch them. They're terrible. They're fighting for the first pick in the MLB draft. That new life that you get going from a bad team to a good team. Jock Peterson, he was going to Chicago, was starting every day. Chicago all of a sudden is trash. They're tanking. You get out of that environment, you're going to Atlanta, you're making a run. That brings new energy to you, you know. Mm-hmm. Duval, Marlins, we know what the Marlins been doing the past decade. Trash. Yeah. You leading the league in RBIs for what? For nothing. Maybe a Silver Slugger Award.
Yeah.
You go to Atlanta, now you're a part of something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great, man.
My soul is dark. That was the outcome that I wasn't rooting for. I'll just keep it short and sweet. I watched my Braves fandom erode over the years, and it really bottomed out when they decided to build a stadium right in the middle of Kyle Parkway, meaning anything that was in the vicinity of that area, they raised the price on it when it comes to the rent, food costs, all that stuff. So the Braves can go to hell, all right?
I love that decision.
Except for Zeno. I am. Yeah, that irritated me. Some of my friends are sitting on prime real estate now because they're like super close to the stadium. But otherwise, my soul is dark. I was hoping the outcome that I wanted 20 years ago, especially like in 95, 96, when I was really still into it. So that they wanted here, I was plotting y'all demise. I was happy for Zeno because he was so hyped up. So I couldn't find myself, but I was over here plotting like in my evil lair for for your demise, and it didn't work out in my favor.
I made sure to go to one game in every playoff series that he did. So I went to game 3 of the NLDS, and then game 2 of the NLCS, and game 5 of the World Series. I figured,
and then the celebration.
And then the celebration. I figured, look, it took them 26 years to do this. Who knows if it's going to be another 26 years, man? Like, just YOLO.
It could be another 46, 50.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially in baseball, you never know. But
we saw the Cubs.
Go ahead,
100
stop
plus.
playing around. Yeah, stop playing around. Go ahead, re-sign Freddie Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's on the back end of his career, but give him a blank check.
Hey man, the thing I'm gonna say about Freddie Freeman is they have to resign him out of respect for sticking with the break. Like, give him whatever
the bad
he
times,
wants.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, even if that results in the Braves having bad bad
give him a blank
for the
check
rest of his career.
Let him pick his price.
He deserves it.
He literally just won an MVP a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, you can play till you're 38. Go ahead and let him write his check. So you don't lose him to the Dodgers or some team back in California where he's from.
Yeah.
Give him and Snitker.
Snitker deserves it. He's been with the organization, 40-something years, 45 years?
Yeah.
He deserves it so much.
And this will be the problem. This is the thing I hate is because I've always been of the opinion that I was like, if you don't have a real owner, you're always going to have cheap owner, right? Because Liberty Media does not care about the product they put on there if it's going to be selling, and them being World Series champions, that product is going to be selling like hot fire for at least a good 2 years, right? Before, even more. I mean, shit, the Braves have been one of the highest producing baseball teams, even when they were stuck in, mediocrity for the longest time. They've always been so. That's why I always said Liberty Media does not care about the Braves team because the brand is always going to be successful. So now that might be the problem with them. Be like, we don't really like paying Snitker. But honestly, I hope Snitker be like, you know what, that's fine. I'll just walk because somebody will pick him up. Somebody will pick up Snitker, especially when he did what he had.
He's one of these guys. We play the game the right way, boy. That's what we do. We play the game the right way.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. He does give that look, but if you ever hear any of his press conferences, he don't talk that way. He's very much.
He's a good dude.
He seems like a good guy, a player's manager, player's coach. But yeah, he does give off that.
We run out them ground balls, boy.
Come here, boy. We're gonna play the game the right way.
His wife is cool too. His wife was a sweetheart too. I don't know if you saw interviews with her.
You hit a ball straight to third base, and you know you're out a mile away. You better run through first base, ball. You better run.
You better get that.
I need that hustle.
But
rub some dirt on it, boy.
Speaking of rub some dirt on it. Speaking of
who's that big bird from Looney Tunes or whatever? The one that talks just like they're talking.
Bird?
You talking about Farquhar Leghorn? Farquhar Leghorn.
Yeah, you sound like Farquhar Leghorn. I'll tell you, boy. I'll tell you now.
Look, speaking of Sticker being one of those like old school type managers, rub some dirt on it. I will never forget when Acuna hits what he thought was a home run and started doing like his little trot thingy, and then it didn't clear the wall that just below the chop house, and there's like, oh shit, and then like he tried to run and he could only got a single or he got thrown out at second or whatever.
He got thrown out at second and he didn't see the field the rest of the game. Sinker said, sit your ass down.
I don't care if you're the best player in baseball, you're done.
Yep.
So yeah, that's who.
Run him out, ball.
Gotta run it out, ball.
But yeah, congrats to the Braves.